Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. 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 Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Welcome everyone to Temple Beth-El of Great Neck. As we are starting our services, my name is Cantor Vladimir Lapin. I'm honored to be here with Rabbi Meir Feldman, Rabbi Eli Molbaum, and we are so excited to welcome our special guest speaker, Dr. Judith Pascal. As we are starting our services, just a couple of guidelines. You should all have a blue prayer book in front of you.
Say Shabbat on the side.
Should say Shabbat. If you don't have, we have prayer books in the back. We also have our Torah commentaries in the back if you'd like to get them. You don't have to get them now. You can get them before the Torah service. Please take this opportunity to make sure that your cell phones are turned off or on silent. We don't allow photography, or we prefer for the photography not to take place. And the most important guideline in everything that we do in all our prayers, we need your voice, we need your spirit. Please join with us. We are going to announce all page numbers. If for some reason we have not announced the page number, turn the page. When in doubt, turn the page. And please join with us. And this prayer, this song, Ma Yafeh Hayom, how lovely today is. May you have a peaceful Shabbat. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Please join with us in singing these beautiful words. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. 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 Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
We turn to page 76. I love that. When in doubt, turn the page. That is actually teaching for life. Right? Isn't it? You know, the great Necker Rebbe, Vlad. The great Necker Rebbe Vlad offered timeless Torah. When in doubt, turn the page. It's amazing. You know, there's a time actually when students of the Rebbe's would sit and write the notes down. This is one of those moments, Cantor. It's true. I mean it. When in doubt, turn the page. Okay, we're going to open the page to a place that Heschel says that every spiritual journey begins where? Where? In the body, in the physicality of life. And it's true. We need to stay connected. We start with what's most present, our bodies. And we do that on page 76 by offering this incredible blessing that we are grateful for our bodies being working well enough to get us here. And even though it may be for a few of us that we're not 100%, a few of us may not be 100%, we still stand with great gratitude and pride. So, 76. We'll start in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill,
creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Rofei chol basar umachli la'asot. Our ancient rabbis teach us that every day is a fresh start. And so after we give thanks for our bodies, we give thanks also for our souls. And so we turn to page 78. We'll join together, Elohai Neshama. God, the soul you've given me is pure.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi teorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Ata berata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi, ve'ata mishamra b'kirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi.
We turn to page 80 and offer the blessings over the daily miracles, the daily workings of our body that, if we're lucky, we see them as miracles. If we're lucky and with work, we see them as miracles. Okay, page 80. We'll begin with the Hebrew formula. Go to the English. Join in as you can. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And now the English.
Who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Page 82. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes. Utnu mame afapai. Page 84.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew, or whatever spiritual path I follow.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor.
86.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
Amen. Why don't we read a few words of Torah from our Mishnah 1,800 years ago on page 88. 88. This is for those who wonder, wait, what does it mean to be religious? I'm not sure. I don't feel religious, but maybe I am. I'm not. I don't know. Here's an answer to your question, or a bunch of answers to your question. Elu devarim she'ein lehem shiur. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of this world, while the principle remains in the olam haba, the world to come. They are, let's offer them together. Honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick,
providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We turn now to page 100 to offer a psalm of praise, Psalm 150.
Hallelujah, 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 el bikocho, hallelujah, birki auzo, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Kerov, good Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Betei kashofar. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, b'tov u'machor. Hallelujah, b'minim ve'ugav. Hallelujah, 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 b'tzilzlei shama. Hallelujah, b'tzilzlei truah. Kol hanshama tehallelia. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
One last time.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
We turn to page 108 and rise for Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
On page 110, we offer words of gratitude for our ability to see the wonders of this world that God created. Join with us. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
Page 112, the top. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one,
Have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. We continue with the Hebrew.
Middle of the page.
V'ha'er eineinu b'toratecha, b'toratecha, v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levaveinu le'ahava u'l'yirah et shemecha, ve'lo nevosh ve'lo nikalem ve'lo nikashel le'olam le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol ve'hanora batachnu nagila nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. Praised be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated as we continue together on page 116.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem.
Amen.
We continue responsively on page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you. accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God, deserving of blessing.
On page 122, we offer our Song of Redemption, Mi Chamocha.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh Nora tehilot osef eleh Shira hadasha shibachu geulim Leshimcha al tzfat hayam Yachad kulam hodu Ve'imlichu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Sing with us. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
We turn to the Amidah on page 124. Please rise.
Tell you something wrong?
Ufia gitehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב על יד נביאך וקרא זה זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוא כל הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מדיר
שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue privately with the Amidah through page 142. You may remain standing or be seated according to your custom.
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו
we're going to begin our Torah service. I'm going to call a few people up, but I just want to frame a question before I do. I'm going to frame a question right now, and then after we put the Torah on the table, if we process, put the Torah on the table before we start to read, I'm going to answer the question, and I hope long before I've answered the question, you are absolutely certain of the answer, because you have the answer. We all do. But, so let me frame the question, ask it, and it comes from this week's Torah portion, double portion, Tazria Mitzorah, that Rabbi Moba may have already given the answer in her learning this morning. I didn't get to hear it, but it'll be good if we're repeating it or if it's new. So Tazria Mitzorah, it's this bizarre, anachronistic, outdated, irrelevant system of skin problems that actually also affect our walls. In other words, they affect our homes, the Mikdash Me'at, our little homes. And the question number one, I'm going to ask two. It's really the same question. Question number one is, what is the most powerful weapon against, the antidote against the cause of this skin and wall ailment, which we call tzara'at? Some people translate it very poorly as leprosy. And we know the traditions. What does the tradition say? What is it? What causes it? Lashon hara, exactly. Gossip, that's what causes it. Question number one is, what is the most powerful weapon or antidote against Lashon hara? Gossip. What is it? Question number two is that relates, the tzara'at affects our homes, our personal private homes. Turns out that actually our big home, the Beit HaMikdash, the temple, the big home in Jerusalem, it fell. Why? They called it because of something else, sinat chinam, which is baseless hatred. The second question is, they're all the same questions. What's the great antidote towards what caused the destruction, the fall of our big home? What's the antidote to sinat chinam, to baseless hatred? Get the two questions, it's really one. What's the antidote to gossip? What's the antidote to sinat chinam? You get it? Okay? I'm going to share the answer in a couple of minutes. I want to just emphasize that I think there may not be a question that's more relevant to us in our daily lives. We could ask it this way: what is it that causes the strife more often than anything else in my home, in our homes? What is it? And how do I go about responding to that, transforming that? Okay, great question, right, Mayor? We love it. We all know the answer. Thank you. Thank you, Cancer Lappin. Okay, so I want Eliana and Gil, two of our wonderful Pismonim, do we call you the Pismo? Shirei Pismon, I don't know, singers in what? Right. Okay, and also I'm going to ask Tracy Feldman to come up. Gil, you and Tracy are going to hold a Torah, and Eliana is going to open the Ark. We are on page, come on up, guys, don't be shy. We're going to, when we rise, we're on page 244.
Just give me the cord.
244, come up, don't be shy. I know, you're very modest.
Please rise.
Please rise.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kemasecha malachutecha malachut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz lamo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Hafar ha'chaimim heitiv avirtzonecha et Zion Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Ki v'chal levad batachnu Melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim
Aryeh.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shema.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema. Gadlu Adonai Tiyun Romema Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula, Hakefura Behatiferet, Behanetzach Behahod. Ki hol bashamayim uvaretz, ki hol bashamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'mitnasei lechol lerosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim haolam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim haolam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama.
So before we begin our Torah reading, I want to just answer the question, and I'm sure you all know the answer. What's the antidote to baseless hatred? We know from Rav Kook that the answer is that if we were destroyed, this is the big house, Beit HaMikdash, our big home. If it were destroyed in the world with us due to baseless hatred, then we shall rebuild ourselves in the world with us with baseless love, ahavat chinam. And interestingly, Rabbi Sachs, who did not make this connection, but who sort of helped me think about this, the answer to the question in terms of our Mikdash Me'at, our little home, what's the antidote to gossip, which ultimately the gossip, the way we talk about each other and the others in our lives, the ultimate antidote to that, what? Prayers, is that what you said? Praise. Very nice, praise, exactly. What's your name? Hi, Raj. Raj says praise. All right, so that's exactly the answer. And we know, I said from the beginning, that you know the answer to this question. We know it really well intellectually. We don't necessarily practice it as well as we intellectually know it. So I want us to read the words of Rabbi Sachs, who is channeling really a teacher of his. And his teacher, her name was Lena Rustin. So this is what he says. It's at the bottom I didn't make enough copies, but for those of you who have, you can follow along. If you don't, you can just listen. This is why I found Lena Rustin's work to have such profound spiritual implications. She was working on gossip, but her work had nothing to do with gossip. But without intending to, she had discovered one of the most powerful antidotes to Lashon Hara ever intended. She taught people to develop the habit of speaking well of one another. She taught them to praise daily, specifically and sincerely. Anyone who uses Lena's technique for a prolonged period will be cured of Lashon Hara. It is the most effective antidote I know. What is more, her technique transforms, this is just not very important, so you don't have to pay attention. What is more, her technique transforms relationships and saves marriages. I know none of us need help in those areas. It heals what Lashon Hara harms. Evil speech destroys relationships. Good speech mends them. This works not only in marriages and families, but also in communities, organizations, and businesses. So, in any relationship that matters to you, this is from Rabbi Sachs, not Rabbi Mayer, deliver praise daily. Seeing and praising the good in people makes them better people, makes you, the speaker, a better person, and strengthens the bond between you. This really is a life-changing idea. Amen to you, Rabbi Sachs, and to your teacher, Lena Rustin. Okay, our Torah portion, our Torah reading. So I want to, for the first Aliyah, by the way, we're in Parsha Tazria, chapter 12 of Leviticus. Chapter 12 of Leviticus. We beautifully have different chumashim from different traditions, and so if you need help finding chapter 12 of Tazria, I'm certain that someone next to you can help you. If you have a hard time finding it, chapter 12 of Tazria. And for the first Aliyah, I want to ask Dan Watman, Ya'amod, Danielle, because you're going to be offering the Aliyah for your beautiful wife and daughter who are going to be chanting our first Aliyah. So Rebecca and Sophia, please come up. Come on over here, guys. Oh, wait. Yeah. Come over here. Rebecca. You're chanting. Okay, you can be there. Yeah. Baruch Adonai Amvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch
Adonai habarak le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bracha banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan anu et torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. V'yadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael lemor. Isha ki tazria v'yalda zachar. Fatima shivat yamim Kime nadatota titema uvayom hashmini yimol basar harlato.
Ushloshim yom, ushoshet yamim, teshev b'nei tahara, v'hol kodesh lo tiga, ve'el hamikdash lo tavo, melo yamle tara, ve'im akeva teled, ve'tahat
Where are you?
Kinidata, Shishim Yom, Sheshet Yamim, Teshev al Demei Tahara, Vimlot Yemei Tahara, Levein O Leva Yaves bin Shinata La'ula Yaludna Otor Lechatar Al Petach Al Kohen Vehi Pivo Bifnei Adonai Vehi Per Aleha Betachara Mimkor Dameha Zot Tarat Nedet Lachzachar Olan Keva Vehi Lo Lim Sata They say Velakra Te Glorim Oh Shane Vene Yonah El Avad La Ve'echad Lachatat Hiper Alecha HaKohen Betahera.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'chotenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Okay. Continue on chapter 13. Call up our Ba'alat Kriyat, Tracy Feldman, and your mom and dad, Iris and Stephen. Ya'amdu, Iris for Stephen, Lichvod Torah. Wait, hold on, Iris, hold on, let's start. Baruch et Adonai.
Up here.
Yep.
Baruch hu Adonai Hamavarach. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hamavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai El Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor Adam ki yeh b'or basaro se'et o sapachat o vaheretz v'haya b'or basaro lenega azarat vehuva el Aharon hakohen o el achad מבניו הכהנים וראה הכהן את הנגע באור הבשר בשר בנגע הפך לבן ומראה הנגע עמד מאור בשרו נגע זרת הוא וראה הכהן וטימאו אותו ואם בהרת לבנה היא באור בשרו ועמוק אין מראה מן האור ושרה לא הפך לבן והסגיר הכהן את הנגע 7 ימים וראהו הכהן ביום השביעי
Vehine hanega emad be'enav lo fasa hanega ba'or v'hiskiro hakohen Shabbat yamim shenit Vera hakohen oto Bayom hashvi shenit vehine keha hanega v'lo fatsa hanega ba'or v'tiharo hakohen mesbechat hi v'kibes bagada v'taher
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam notam b'dechenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Todah, todah. Okay. Wonderful. So, the third aliyah, Elizabeth Margoloff, you're coming up to offer blessing. And we want to. Oh, right. What? I know. We're going to ask everyone to rise who has a Misha Berach. We're going to a Misha Berach for anyone. Oh, I'm confused here because I thought that you. Yeah. Why don't we? What am I doing? I thought I had this one under control. I don't. I want anyone actually who did not go to Israel with us, because you're coming up in a minute, who's been to Israel in the last 12 months, some of you, to come up in the Aliyah. Anyone who did not the group who went in December. Anyone else who's been to Israel in the last 12 months or so, come up. Good Alice, come on up. Anyone else? There's others. Good Rachel. Any others? Okay. Come on up. Offer the bracha. We're on verse 7, chapter 13. Yep.
You ready? Baruch et Adonai Habarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'im paso tisecha mispachat ma'or aharei hara'oto el hakohen lataharato v'nira shenit el hakohen v'ra'ah hakohen v'hinei pasta hamispachat ba'or V'timo hakohen tzaraat hi negat tzarat ki tieh ba'adam v'huva el hakohen. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'toshenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, for the fourth aliyah, Josh, come on up, and your mom and dad and sister, come on up for the aliyah. We're on verse 10, Ya'amdu, Mishpacha Oken, the aliyah HaRavi'i.
Just what one?
natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vera hakohen vehine she'et lavana ba'or vehi havka se'ar lavan umechayat basar chai baseit zara'at noshenet hi ba'or basaro v'timeo hakohen lo yatzgirenu ki tamei hu vein paroach tifrach hazarat baor vechista hazar vechista hazarat et kol or hanega meroshe ve'araglav the kol merod nana
Kohen. All right. It's all right. We did a great job for the first 2.5 verses. Last 3 words were hard. It's okay. Hey, it's part of learning and growing. It's a beautiful thing. It is. You have the courage to stand here and do 2 3/4 of it perfectly.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tzolkenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen, amen. Feel good. Feel proud. Okay. For the next Aliyah, now, Mel, you want to come up? Next Aliyah is being chanted by Tracy on verse 13 of chapter 13. And we want to ask to come up for the honor of the Aliyah. Anyone wanting to offer a prayer for healing, for yourself, for anyone you know. It could actually, everyone can be up here. If there's a whole slew of people who can stand, but come on up to the bima. But if you want to stand in your spot, you feel free. Come on, Mel. And Tracy, come on up to do the chanting.
Here, Mel. Right over here.
Okay, on 3, everyone. This is, when we gather our love, our energy, our passion for each other's well-being, it really makes a difference. So,
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacharanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vera hakohen vehine kisa hazarat et kol basaro vatihar atenega kulo hafak lavan tohorhu uvyom hereyot bo basar chayitma vera hakohen et habasar hachai v'tibeo habasar hachai tamehu zara'athu.
okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tzolkenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
253.
Why don't we all rise? Let's all rise.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor abraha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
As we sit, I actually want to say something about what we're doing up here. We're really pushing ourselves at Beth-El right now. There has never been in 90 years a culture of becoming Torah readers, of actually standing in front of the Torah and struggling to get out a paragraph, a sentence, a word, a letter. It's a new experience for us. And I feel unbelievably grateful to every one of you with the courage and the passion and the willingness to try to learn a word. It's an incredible thing. The rabbis teach that there were 600,000 Jews who were with Jacob when he went down to Egypt, and there's 600,000 letters in the Torah. Every one of us has a letter. And there's about 599,000 other letters that we're not going to master. My prayer, I'm telling you from the deepest place in my heart, is that any one of us, every one of us, can read one letter from the Torah. And I think I'm channeling the best of our tradition. And it can change your hearts, our hearts, individually and of this community. So I want to say kol hakavod, incredible. I have so much pride and gratitude to every one of us who stands up here or in the sanctuary. I love you, and I'm so grateful to you. So with that, I want to ask Evie and Evan, Raybeck, and Dorothy and Ed Greenbaum to come up as we shep some nachas over your son and grandson, Ed. Your son and grandson, Sid. Ed, bring your grandson, and your mom, Sid, bring your mom and dad. Got it. Come on, guys. How many times can I try to repeat myself and make a mistake? So Sid is reading from our passage, our Torah, chapter 13, verses 16 to 18. Evie and Evan and Dorothy and Ed, come forward.
Amen. Ochi yashuv habasar hachai v'nechpach le'lavan uva el hakohen v'ra'ahu hakohen v'hinei nehepach haneya le'lavan Tihar hakohen et hanega tahor hu uvasar kiyeh lo ve'oro shechid v'nirpa
natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
You can be seated. And for our final aliyah, we actually honor our guest speaker. I'll chant the final aliyah, chapter 13, verses 19, starting verse 19. Ta'amod Esther Yehudit Bat Yosef V'yeta Aliyah Hashvi'i. Baruch Adonai Amborach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah ya Eloheinu Ruach Olam Asher Baruch banu im kol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah ya noten haTorah.
Amen. V'haya bimkom ashechin she'levana o v'heret levana amdamet v'nir'a el kohen v'ra'a kohen v'hine mar'eha shafal ha'or usera hafach lavan V'timo hakohen negatzarat hi bashchin paracha ve'im yir'ana hakohen v'ine en ba se'ah lavan u'shvala enenu min ha'or ve'hi keha Hiskiro hakohen shivat yamim ve'im pasa tifseh ba'or v'timeh hakohen oto negahi ve'im tachteha tamod habaheret lo fasata Tzalevet hashchihi v'tiharo hakohen.
Baruch atah ya Eloheinu Ruach Olam Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah ya noten haTorah.
Amen. So I want to ask, we're going to offer our prayer for Israel on page 259.
Yes.
And I want to ask all of the folks who came on the Israel trip in December to come on up and share in this special moment with us. All the folks who came on this trip. Come on up, guys. We only had a little bit of fun, and only on the odd days of our trip. We're on page 259. It's so great to be all together again. Page 259. Avinu Shebashamayim.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Barech, barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reishit tzmichar Geulateinu. Again Allah be'evrat hasdacha ufros alecha sukat shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. ושלח אורך ומיתך לרשך שרך ויוצאך ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. אבינו אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושבך, ונאמר אמן. אבינו אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו.
Thank you all. Love you, each of you. Come down, come down. The biggest challenge of our trip is we're hugging each other too much. Okay. So I want to ask Howard Herman to come up and be our Magbia, to raise the Torah. We're going to return the Torah to the Ark on page 252. I'd like everyone to rise, please.
אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. ילאי לי 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 ילאי 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 לי 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 ילאי לי לי ילאי לי 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 ילאי 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 לי 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 ילאי לי לי. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Etchaim hi lamachazikim ba vetom hecha meushar derachecha darchei noam vechol netivotecha Shalom, Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu, Kekedem.
Please be seated. Howard, please introduce our special guest this morning. Okay. All right, as you...
Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Meir, with your permission, the rest is going to be in English. A new rabbi comes to a Reform congregation. At her first Shabbat service, when the time comes for the Shema, some congregants sit and some stand. Those who are standing yell at the ones who are sitting, and those who are sitting yell at those who are standing. The rabbi is concerned about the disorder, so on Monday she calls a meeting with the chair of the ritual committee and 3 longtime members of the congregation. The rabbi asks the first member about the congregation's practice. The member insists that the congregation always stood for the Shema. The next member disagrees and insists the congregation always sat for the Shema. The rabbi asks the third member, and he says the congregants have always had the option of sitting or standing. The exasperated rabbi asks the chair of the ritual committee what the practice has been, and she responds, "They are all correct. It has always been the practice that some people insist that we've always stood, some insist that we've always sat, and some insist that we've always had a choice." One of the reasons this joke works is because many of us have experienced something like this in our synagogues. Of course, a central tenet of the Reform movement has been choice. However, for our choices to have meaning, they must be informed choices. We also need to know how to innovate. Today's guest speaker, Dr. Judith Plaskow, has devoted a lifetime to exploring the ways that individuals, especially Jews and especially women, might choose to think about God, worship God, and relate to God. She has studied our texts critically, and she has interpreted and reinterpreted them. As one of the first Jewish feminist theologians, if not the first Jewish feminist theologian, she has been on the front lines and wrestling with and helping others wrestling with the concept of God, especially from a feminist perspective. And she has not merely been a voice for choice. She has helped mold many of the choices themselves. Dr. Plaskow has been teaching, writing, and speaking about Jewish feminism, feminist studies in religion, and sexuality for almost 5 decades. One of her major works, Standing Again at Sinai, Judaism from a Feminist Perspective, was groundbreaking when it was published in 1990, and it remains compelling today. A list of Dr. Plaskow's other publications is 12 pages long. If I were to go on with even a summary of her other accomplishments and leadership positions, this introduction would run even longer. One last thing. Dr. Plaskow is also my cousin Judith, a fact I discovered only about 2 years ago with the help of another long-lost cousin, Roz Fuchsberg-Kaufman, who's with us today, along with some of my other recently discovered cousins. Judith is my second cousin once removed. Her great-grandfather, Morris Herman, and my grandfather, Harry Herman, were brothers. I'm meeting Judith for the first time today, even though we grew up in West Hempstead at the same time. Her family attended the Reform Temple down the road from my family's corner store and apartment. Our families had acquaintances and perhaps friends in common. Her rabbi's son worked in a bookstore with me and sat next to me in high school French class. Despite all that, Judith and I did not know of one another's existence until recently. By the way, Judith, when Rabbi Ballin's son, Doug, saw my post on my Facebook page, he told me that you came from a nice family. And he sends his best regards. I'm honored to welcome Dr. Judith Plaskow to the Bima of Temple Beth-El.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I thank my cousin Howard for initiating the visit. A pleasure to meet a long-lost cousin, or a newly found cousin. Okay. When Jewish feminism burst into the world almost 50 years ago, hard to believe, feminists were seeking equal access to all the rights and responsibilities of Jewish life. Today, we're living in a world that's so radically different from the reality of the 60s, it's almost hard to remember what things were like, even for those of us who grew up during that time. I grew up in a Reform congregation in which women were on the bima only to light candles on Friday night. This wasn't a rule that was ever articulated. It was just the norm in a movement that had granted women formal equality 100 years earlier, but had done very little to turn stated principles into reality. Men didn't cover their heads in the synagogue where I grew up, and in fact, if a man had come in with a kippah, he would have been asked to remove it. But the rabbi was opposed to the ordination of women because it was against tradition. This wasn't untypical of Reform Judaism at the time. And one of the nice things that one can say about that early moment is that the goals of feminism were very clear. Women should be able to participate fully in synagogue life. We should be counted in a minyan. We should be called to the Torah. We should be ordained. The profound contradiction between the rhetoric of the liberal movements and the reality fed feminist agitation for change. And it's important to recall that this was also the beginnings of the feminist movement in the larger society. So women seeking equality in the world were not going to accept subordination in the synagogue. 50 years down the road, so much has changed that the next steps aren't at all obvious. There are many people who feel that the goals of feminism have been achieved and that it's no longer necessary. Young people aren't necessarily aware that it was a movement for change that brought about the current reality. I certainly know rabbis who are women who've had boys growing up in their congregations ask, can a boy be a rabbi? Now, on the one hand, that's very amusing and you might say hopeful, but it also erases 2,000 years of Jewish history. And I suppose this is what it means when we say we're living in a post-feminist age. The achievements of feminism are taken for granted, but they're erased as achievements. And the need for ongoing agitation and change is denied. Even those people who don't see the work as finished are not necessarily clear where we need to intervene today. What, in fact, is left to accomplish? I think it's time for some stock-taking. So I'd like to address this question, what remains to be done, on two levels. The level of access and the level of content. First of all, even on the level of access, all is not quite as well as it might seem. Just a few years ago, I had the privilege of leading a series of discussions on feminism for graduates of Hebrew Union College. And the conversations were deeply sobering to me in that the students in the class, women and men, felt that despite the enormous changes of the last several decades, women in the rabbinate are still functioning on a male playing field. The numbers of women in leadership roles hasn't really eradicated either male expectations of women or women's expectations of themselves. The assumptions about gender and gender stereotypes have only become more subtle and insidious over time, and therefore in many ways more difficult to get a handle on. So who serves in the rabbinate has changed, but the rabbinate itself has not been fully transformed. I'm sure many of you are aware that few women lead large congregations in the Reform movement, and that women rabbis are paid less than men, substantially less than men. It's often said that women choose smaller congregations. But a recent graduate of HUC told me that the year she graduated, all the prestigious congregations that had rabbinic openings somehow just happened to interview only men, whereas it was the small or the unstable congregations that were interviewing the women. But since there was a perception of equality, it was very difficult to address this because they just said, well, we looked at a whole range of candidates, men and women, and the men just happened to fit our position better. Also, we might ask ourselves, insofar as women are choosing not to lead large congregations, what is it about the structure of the rabbinate that leads talented and ambitious women not to lead a major congregation? So there are many other access issues that I could describe, but I also want to touch on some deeper changes that haven't happened. One of the great accomplishments of Jewish feminism has been a wonderful, rich new scholarship on Jewish texts and women's history. New Torah commentaries, one of which I see you have here for your congregants. New questions brought to traditional sources. The opening up of almost every period of Jewish history to new insights. When I wrote Standing Again at Sinai almost 30 years ago, I argued that women's Torah is shrouded in silence. Women's history is not the history recorded, and what's recorded is seen through male eyes and focused on male concerns. Well, since I wrote that book, this silence has been addressed in ways that I could not have imagined at the time. And yet, we still haven't found a way to let this new work transform our sense of ourselves as Jews. Every Shabbat, congregations parade around with and read and lift up and declare to be the Word of God, the Torah, as we did this morning. For all the changes that feminism has brought, we haven't found ways to make concrete and immediate the notion of women's new words as Torah. And I think this is a serious problem because worship is a primary way of enacting and internalizing an understanding of tradition. Many people encounter Jewish tradition primarily through worship. So how are people to know about the new scholarship, the new poetry, the new commentaries, the new words of women if they're not brought into worship? I see the unfinished business of Torah as having two dimensions. One involves engaging in feminist criticism of the many passages in Torah that diminish women or normalize violence against them or construct them as objects rather than subjects of legislation. I have in mind such texts as Lot offering his virgin daughters to the men of Sodom, or for that matter to this morning's parsha, where a woman is unclean twice as long after the birth of a female child as after the birth of a male child. Now, I realize that a lot of Reform congregations don't read the whole Torah portion, so it's easy to skip disturbing texts. And I think that a primary strategy for dealing with texts that we don't like is to pretend that they're not there, because after all, there's a lot else to talk about. But the problem is that such texts don't go away just because we don't read them. I've been struck on many occasions watching a bat mitzvah reading Torah or giving a devar Torah on a text that seems antithetical to her presence at the front of the synagogue. How do we publicly acknowledge and grapple with the fact that parts of Torah are unethical? Could we use the story of Lot offering his virgin daughters, for example, as a moment to raise issues of family violence, which is a serious problem in our society and our religious communities? or as a starting point to talk about sexual violence in the world, or talk about Me Too. And then I think the second dimension of challenge is finding ways to bring women's words into the weekly Torah service. I'm not advocating rewriting the Torah. I'm actually quite conservative in that respect. But I believe that we can and must put it into an expanded context. The Women of Reform Judaism Torah commentary, for example, has a voices section that often takes some passage in the Torah in a new direction, questioning it, expanding it, using it as a jumping off point. What if one of those poems were incorporated into the service every week, or a different text were incorporated into the service? How can we expand on what we hand on as Torah to the next generation? How do we ensure that the Torah of the present day is the Torah of the whole Jewish people? And I would raise similar concerns about a second issue, namely the way that we talk about God. In Standing Again at Sinai, I argued that the overwhelmingly male God language of Torah and liturgy reinforces the marginalization of women and makes it difficult to see women as in God's image. The problem is not just that God is male, which could perhaps be addressed by pronoun change, but the kind of male God that God is, a dominating other, outside and above the world, a holy warrior, and so on. I argued in Standing Again at Sinai that we need to greatly expand our images of God. We need female images, gender-neutral images, like I used during the Aliyah, images of intimacy, natural images, images that would make real God's presence throughout creation. And I think this is another area in which there's been both amazing change and not nearly enough change. The New Reform Prayer Book has gotten rid of male God language in English, and so, for that matter, has the New Conservative Siddur. The prayer book repeats the word God instead of using he, or uses direct address, you. It's really very well done. It's done so subtly that, in a sense, you wouldn't notice unless you were interested in the topic. But on the other hand, leaving aside the fact that the Hebrew hasn't been changed, I could say that this movement to gender-neutral pronouns represents a contraction of language. I don't mean to knock it, because I think it's really important, and I'm really glad to see it. And at the same time, I think it represents a certain failure of imagination. Male language is a problem, so let's get rid of it while changing as little as possible. Some people find that God is no longer vivid in the same way for them, that this language, this neutral language, has a flattening effect. And I think that's because it doesn't engage with the deeper issue of who God is for us, if God is for us, and what we want to say about God. And meanwhile, the issue of female language has simply disappeared altogether as an issue for the community. In the first couple of decades of feminism, the possibility of female language was much discussed. Rita Gross wrote an article in the 1970s arguing that if we don't mean that God is male when we use male pronouns, then we should use female pronouns and images as well. In the 1970s, Maggie Wenig and Naomi Janowitz, as Brown undergraduates, completely rewrote the Sabbath prayer book using female images. In the 1990s, Marcia Falk wrote the Book of Blessings, in which she reworked the liturgy much more radically, imagining God not as a person, but as the wellspring of life. But since then, there's been very little experimentation. Even most feminist rituals use traditional language or a couple of variations. I see a relationship between this failure to come up with new images and a deeper discomfort in talking about God. What are the moments in our lives when we've had a sense of participating in something larger than ourselves, when we've had a glimpse of what life really is or could be about? Do we connect these experiences with God? Why or why not? What possibilities open up to us if we start thinking in this direction? How do our experiences of something that connects us to what's beyond ourselves, that connects us to the whole, relate to the language of liturgy? How might we enable them to connect more deeply? I think this is a conversation that's still waiting to happen. Now, you may have noticed that as I moved just now from issues of access to issues of content, I'm no longer just talking about women's issues. There are lots of problematic passages in the Torah besides those that demean women. The condemnation of male-male sex, the commandment to wipe out Amalek, images of God's violence. I'm sure that we all have passages in the Torah that are particularly disturbing to us. What do we do about it? How do we talk about it? How do we use the synagogue as a starting place to have conversations about such passages? And many Jews experience a disconnect between the God of the prayer book and the God they believe in. It's not just a feminist problem. But I think that that's precisely the power of feminism, that it isn't just about women, that it lays bare problems and contradictions inherent in being a Jew in the contemporary world so that we can see them clearly and begin to address them. So I would say that maybe we've completed phase one of the feminist enterprise. We've expanded our notion of who constitutes the people of Israel, and we've begun, though incompletely, to try to make that real in our institutions. But now we need to deepen and broaden the feminist agenda to look again at the content of tradition so that feminism can enrich and transform the Jewish community in the next 50 years as radically as it has in the last 50. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Dr. Plaskow. We look forward to question and answer at the Kiddush lunch in about 8 minutes or so. Let's rise for Aleinu on page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated as we move to our conclusion with offering Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. If you hear the name of a loved one, you'd like to rise, please feel free. Please do rise. We remember this week laid to rest Florence Weinberg, mother of Stephen and Jed, and mother as well of Raquel. and grandmother of Brooke and Harrison, and Sam and David and Allison as well. We remember laid to rest the last 30 days, period of Shloshim, Doris Pensky Kaplan, Mela Liederman, and Morton Peatluck. And the Yortzeit for Solomon Abraham, Bella Abrams, Anna Abramson, David Green, Dorothy Hirsch, Isabel Fireman, Fanny Clear, Lillian Cursius and Irving Cursius, Michael Levine, William Lowenthal, Jeanette Muskin, Sally Nevins, Barbara Perlman, Lou Rosenblum, Maxine Schneider, and Helen Zahner. If there's anyone you're here remembering whose name is not on the list, would you rise and who? Anyone else? Let's rise as a community on page 294. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemer Abba, V'yalma divrach urte, v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon, v'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam u'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Kudashah, Brechu, Le'ela min kol Vashirata, Tush Bechata, Vanechemata, Damiran, V'yalma, V'imru, Amen, Yehesh, Lama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen, Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. And let us say Amen. Let's remain standing. We'll offer Kiddush, but before we do, I want to thank a few people. First of all, our Torah chanters, Rebecca and Sophia, Elizabeth, Josh, Sydney, and Tracy. You, above everyone, you have put so much time and effort and love and care into helping our students learn. Any letter that they learned in part because of you. And your own Torah chanting is beautiful, and I'm grateful to you for that. Shai, at your birthday, Cantor Vlad, Rabbi Mobam, thank you. All of our Israel trippers. Great thanks and great love to all of you. And let's turn for Vishamru to page 300.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen. And before we offer motzi, to look forward, just so everyone knows, we're invited, welcome, urged. Come downstairs for our kiddush lunch. Thank you to Stu Bodwinnick for making that happen. Dr. Plasko, really excited to get to hear from you in a couple minutes as we go downstairs. Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We conclude on page 327. Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu. Non como nuestro Dios, non como nuestro Señor, non como nuestro Rey, non como nuestro Salvador. Mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Malkeinu, mi Moshienu, quien como nuestro Dios, quien como nuestro Señor, quien como nuestro Rey, quien como nuestro Salvador. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no de Malkeinu, no de Moshienu. Lo haremos a nuestro Dios, lo haremos a nuestro Señor, lo haremos a nuestro Rey, lo haremos a nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Bendito nuestro Dios, bendito nuestro Señor, bendito nuestro Rey, bendito nuestro Salvador. Ata Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Tú sos nuestro Dios, tú sos nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador.
Shabbat shalom. We'll see you
Shabbat
downstairs
shalom.
for lunch.
So funny to end with that after just thinking about feminine God language. That's like the most masculine God language. It's such an ironic ending.